Hey Travis kiddos, let's review some subtraction strategies. We are going to get you ready for that addition and subtraction to 20 test. We've already reviewed some of our addition strategies we've learned this chapter. If you want to watch that video again to refresh your memory, that's in the description below, or you can look back in Google Classroom to find it. And here we're going to review some subtraction strategies. Now, subtraction is a little bit tricky when we are regrouping because you have to hold a lot of pieces in your brain at once, and sometimes we're adding and subtracting in one problem in order to subtract. So just try to follow along. We'll go through some of the strategies we've learned. Okay, so let's start with a subtraction sentence without regrouping. So that means if I have 16 minus 4, okay? Now here, I can split 16 up into 10 and 6. And I say, 10, you go chill out for a little bit. We'll call you back when we're ready. And I can just focus on the ones. So 6 is the ones from 16 minus 4, the ones I'm subtracting, equals 2. Now, okay, 10, we're ready for you to come back in. Now here's the tricky part. We're actually going to add here. We need to add the 10 to the 2. We're adding the 10 back in because we just kind of held off on it for a moment while we were focusing on the ones. So now we're putting it back together. So 10 plus 2 equals 12. We had the 2 left over when we subtracted the ones, and we put the 10 back in. So 16 minus 4 is 12. Now, could you also count back? Sure. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. You get to the same answer a different way. You guys know any way you want it, that's the way you solve it. It doesn't really matter, but it's really good to understand these strategies for when we get into more complicated regrouping, when we get up into higher numbers and triple-digit numbers in second grade. You want to be ready for that. So it's good to start understanding adding and subtracting with place value. So again, this is an example of subtracting the ones without regrouping. Let's try one with regrouping. So if I did 14 minus 6, switch those ones around, make it even trickier for you. More confusing, hopefully not. 14 minus 6. I can still split up 10 and 4 from the 14. We're always looking to split up our teen numbers into 10s and 1s. It's just like when we were building it with our 10 frames and our red and yellow dots, right? We have a full 10 frame and 4 down below. Now, can I take 6 away from 4? Last time I was able to take 4 away from 6. But this time I can't just switch it around and do 4 minus 6 because we're subtracting this way, right? And if I had my 10 frames, I would have 10 dots on the top and 4 dots on the bottom. And I can't take 6 away from the 4 here. But where can I take 6 away from? I can take 6 away from the 10 on the top. So I can do 10 minus 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm left with 4. Now, this is the tricky part again. We're going to add those things back together, but I split the 14 up into 10 and 4. I don't have that anymore. And then I did 10 minus 6 to get 4, so I don't have those left, but I do have this 4 left over. So I need to add the 4 that I got from 10 minus 6 and the 4 here. So the 4 from 10 minus 6 and the 4 from my second 10 frame, or the ones in that teen number. And that brings me to 8. So 14 minus 6 equals 8. Let's practice a couple more, and I will show you those 10 frames again at the bottom. So if I had 13 minus 5, So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I do them in rows of 5 because that's what our 10 frames look like. And 3 for the ones. 13 minus 5. I have my 10 frame full, my 3 extras. Can I take 5 away from the 3? Where can I take 5 from? The 10. So 10 minus 5 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 left. Now I have those 5 left, and I have the 3 left over from 13. So I need to put those back together. I can just erase this for now and count up all the leftover dots, and that's 8. So 13 minus 5 equals 8. Can we count back here with this? Let's give it a try. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. I can. Now, to make it even more, hopefully not more complicated, but just give you more options here. I have lost my eraser. Here it is. I will show you another way to subtract this. So instead of splitting up my 13, I could split up my 5. And I do this to work within the 10s and 1s again. So if I'm trying to do 13 minus 5, a good way to do this is, since I have 3 1s, I'm going to try to use 3 1s from the 5. So let's see. 5, I can split it up into 3 and 2. So if I do 13 minus 3, that brings me to 10. Or you can look at it as I've split up the 10 and 3. So now I do 3 minus 3. Those are going to cancel each other right out. 3 minus 3, done. Right? Now I have 10, but this time I'm not adding the 2 more. I'm taking away because I'm still subtracting. This is still part of the 13. This is still part of the 5. So I'm still subtracting. So now I can do 10 minus 2 to get to 8. Same answer, different way. So all of these strategies are to help you understand how to subtract, not to confuse you. The more you practice, the better it gets and the more it makes sense. But I also want to offer all these strategies so that whichever one does make the most sense for you or your child, go with that one until you're able to build in more strategies. Let's do one last problem. So let's do 14 minus 7. 14 minus 7. Now, you could split this up into 10 and 4, or if you learned your doubles facts really, really well, you might realize this is a doubles fact already. So let's work through the problem and see if your doubles fact works out right. So I have 10 and 4. 10 minus 7, because I can't take 7 away from 4. I don't have enough. 10 minus 7 equals 3. I'm going to add what's left over back with my 4 that I saved from the 14 to get 7. So 14 minus 7 equals 7. And 2 7s, doubles fact. If you worked your other way around, your related fact, you would have 7 plus 7 makes 14. So, as I've shown you, there are plenty of strategies to use. You can use cubes, you can use 10 frames, you can use blocks, you can use your fingers, you can use any of those things. I would use them to check and try to use the 10 base 10, use those 10s and 1s place value to help you subtract. Okay? Keep practicing those strategies. Go rock that test. Have fun and happy learning.